Hezbollah has confirmed that its leader, Hassan Nasrallah, was killed in a massive airstrike that struck a densely populated neighborhood in Beirut. The attack resulted in significant destruction, reducing several residential buildings to rubble. In response to his death, Hezbollah issued a statement affirming its commitment to continue confronting Israel, emphasizing its support for Gaza and its defense of Lebanon. The group vowed to persist in its struggle, indicating that Nasrallah's leadership and legacy would drive their efforts against perceived threats in the region. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, confirmed that Israeli Air Force jets executed a precise strike on Hezbollah's central headquarters, which was located underground beneath a residential building in the Dahieh neighborhood. This operation occurred while key Hezbollah leaders were allegedly coordinating actions against Israeli civilians. This escalation follows Hezbollah's initiation of attacks on northern Israel, which began immediately after Hamas's assault on October 7th. Nasrallah's alleged death represents a significant blow to Hezbollah, an organization already facing challenges, including a breach of its communications network. Hassan Nasrallah has been at the helm of Hezbollah for over 3 decades, significantly shaping it into one of the most formidable paramilitary organizations in the Middle East. He was a founding member of Hezbollah, which was established with Iranian support more than 40 years ago. In 1992, following the assassination of his mentor, Abbas Musawi, in an Israeli helicopter strike, Nasrallah ascended to the position of Secretary General, leading the group through numerous conflicts and political challenges since then. Under his leadership, Hezbollah has expanded its influence. Becoming a key player in both Lebanese and regional politics. Hezbollah has a long history of conflict with Israel, notably fighting in the 2006 Lebanon War, which ended in a stalemate but elevated Nasrallah's status in the Arab world. The group has also participated in the Syrian civil war, playing a crucial role in supporting President Bashar Assad and shifting the balance of power in his favor. Nasrallah's strategic vision allowed Hezbollah to become a key player in Lebanon and regional dynamics, particularly in relation to Iran's influence.
الانسحاب الكامل لم يحصل وأن هناك أرضاً ما زالت محتلة ورجالاً ما زالوا مسجونين وأسرى ومعتقلين وأن علينا أن نقاتل من أجل تحريرهم.
As a skilled strategist, Nasrallah positioned Hezbollah as a primary adversary of Israel, forging strong alliances with Shia leaders in Iran and Palestinian groups like Hamas. He has effectively utilized media, particularly Hezbollah's own television station, Al-Manar, to broadcast his messages and rally support domestically and regionally. Nasrallah is recognized as a passionate orator, often viewed as an extremist in the West, yet seen as pragmatic compared to earlier Hezbollah leaders who emerged in the wake of the group's founding in 1982 during Lebanon's civil war. Despite his significant influence, Nasrallah has lived mostly in hiding due to the constant threat of Israeli assassination attempts. His security measures have included avoiding public appearances and relying on technology to communicate with supporters and the media. Nasrallah was born in 1960 to a poor Shia family in the impoverished northern suburb of Shashabuk in Beirut. Later moving to southern Lebanon, he pursued theological studies and joined the Amal movement, a Shia political and paramilitary group, before becoming one of the founders of Hezbollah. The organization was established with the assistance of Iranian Revolutionary Guards who arrived in Lebanon in 1982 to combat Israeli forces during their invasion. Hezbollah was the first group Iran supported, using it as a means to export its brand of political Islam. Nasrallah built a solid power base as Hezbollah integrated into a network of Iranian-backed factions and governments known as the Axis of Resistance. The United States designated Hezbollah as a terrorist organization. Under Nasrallah's leadership, Hezbollah conducted a war of attrition that ultimately led to Israel's withdrawal from southern Lebanon in 2000, ending an 18-year occupation. Nasrallah's eldest son, Hadi, was killed in 1997 while fighting Israeli forces, further cementing Nasrallah's resolve against Israel. After Israel's exit from southern Lebanon, Nasrallah's status soared, making him an iconic figure both in Lebanon and throughout the Arab world.
من الآن من أمينه العام إلى كل قياديه وكوادره ومجاهديه ورجاله ونسائه وصغاره وكباره أعضاء في حركة حماس تحت قيادتكم.
His messages reached wide audiences through Hezbollah's own radio and satellite TV station. His reputation further solidified during the 2006 conflict with Israel, where Hezbollah managed to hold its ground against the Israeli military over 34 days, showcasing its military capabilities. When Syria's civil war broke out in 2011, Hezbollah fighters quickly intervened to support Assad's regime, even as the group's popularity declined due to the Arab world's backlash against Assad's brutal crackdown on protests. This involvement solidified Hezbollah's role as a key Iranian ally in the region, but it also complicated its relations with various Arab nations. Following the start of the Israel-Hamas war on October 7th, Hezbollah began launching attacks on Israeli military positions along the border, labeling itself a backup front for Gaza. In his speeches during the conflict, Nasrallah argued that these cross-border strikes diverted Israeli attention and resources away from Hamas in Gaza, asserting that Hezbollah would not cease its attacks on Israel until a ceasefire was achieved in Gaza. As tensions escalated, Nasrallah maintained a defiant stance, despite Israel's new military phase aimed at pushing Hezbollah back from the border to facilitate the return of displaced individuals in northern Israel. Israel's strikes targeted high-ranking Hezbollah commanders and were also blamed for an explosion that destroyed thousands of communications devices used by Hezbollah members, resulting in numerous casualties. Reports suggest that the operational capabilities of Hezbollah may be significantly impacted if Nasrallah's death is confirmed, raising questions about the group's future direction and leadership.